Michael Porter Jr. underwent surgery for his lower back. Jamal Murray and Dozier are out with an ACL injury. PJ Dozier, I think that's how you say it actually. I mispronounced his name. PJ got injured earlier this week. MPJ, most likely out for the season. Did the Nuggets make a mistake by paying Michael Porter Jr.? I'll start with you, JC.
I do believe that they made a mistake in paying Michael Porter Jr. I mean, his contract was hefty. He was coming into the season only averaging 10.6 rebounds on 55% free throw shooting, 21% from the three, 36% from the field goal range, and 49% from mid-range shots. So he regressed statistically in all those areas. Those are all career lows. I do have a question. I don't know how much of that was due to the injury that he was dealing with. I mean, I saw like a game where like he was smoked a wide open layup, didn't seem to get enough elevation on the layup. He didn't look the same this year. To me, when I was watching him, he didn't look like MPJ from the playoffs last year or the previous year. Defensively, he's still not good. And then it's like, Denver's a small market team, so they're forced to pay those type of players. But I think just judging off everything that's transpired this season, the season-ending injury on top of him not playing well, averaging career lows and everything, I think you have no choice but to say it was kind of a mistake to give him that type of money. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I mean, he was terrible this season.
You finna find out how I feel about it.
It's terrible.
When you're a big market team, it's easy to look at this and say, nah, they made a mistake. Denver made a mistake. But teams like Brooklyn, teams like both LA teams, stars come easily. It's easy. Paul George, Kawhi to the Clippers, LeBron, AD, even Westbrook at a point to the Lakers. Even before that, Kobe, Shaq, Magic, all these players. You guys, Kevin Durant, Kyrie. Even the Knicks, you were in play. You got Melo. It's like you're a big market, the Mecca. Denver had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Denver had to do it. You can look at it as a mistake, even though MPJ's in I believe he's still in his rookie deal. If not, it's probably his first year of that contract. You can say it's a mistake. I don't think it was a mistake because at the same time, MPJ still has a buttload of potential.
Yeah.
And on top of that, Jamal Murray is not back. MPJ was a third option. Then Jamal Murray went down. He kind of got thrusted into a role I just don't think he was ready for yet. He's still 23 years old. Mm-hmm. He's still young. When Jamal Murray is there, he was putting up 19 a game, shooting 50, 40, 79. Like, that was his splits. He was an efficient shooter, a 6'10", long, lengthy wing. Yes, his defense is very, very, very suspect.
The injury history doesn't scare you from him? He's been injured in college, been injured in the NBA. I think I think that factors into my decision.
It scared them before, but a guy like that, you have to take him. You know what I'm saying? And even if so, Denver's not gonna get. Superstars aren't.
They signed Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, superstar. Well, they traded for him, but superstars aren't running to Denver. Like, Denver is not some place, and Denver's a nice place. Colorado's cool, but nobody's running to Denver. Jokic is a great all NBA top 4, top 5 player. Nobody's going to run to play with him. No offense, I would, but people aren't doing that. So they have to pay these guys that can potentially turn into superstars or all-stars even. And MPJ, whether he's not going to play this year, they weren't going to do anything this year. Jamal Murray, he's hurt. Jokic is carrying them. They weren't going to go to the finals or to the Western Conference Finals. Honestly, this could be a blessing in disguise. MPJ goes out for the year. Okay, this offseason we walk in, Jamal Murray, MPJ, let's get them fully healthy. Let's re-gear for next year. They're both still relatively young. They can continue to get better. We get this unit young. Jokic is still young. We retool and we get better. That's still a very dangerous trio. So it's like, I don't think it was a mistake. It's just a bit of bad luck right now. I still think they made the right move because at the same time, MPJ can be a superstar. I guarantee he'll definitely be an all-star at least. Mm-hmm. He just needs to obviously get better, and he's still relatively young.
This wasn't a mistake. Denver didn't make a mistake by paying him. I don't believe that in the slightest. And because he's not going to make an All-NBA team this season, about $30 to $40 million gets written off his contract. No. So what should have been a $200+ million deal is now a 5-year, $172 million deal. Still a lot of money, there's no doubt. But like you said, he has a lot of potential. And last year, you mentioned with him playing with Jamal Murray, he averaged 19 on great efficiency. When he went out, he was averaging 24 to 25 a game on great efficiency still. In the playoffs, he didn't play that well. But in the regular season, when he had to step up as a second guy, he definitely did step up. Before the draft, the Clippers doctors said that MPJ probably would never play basketball again. And that's why they took Shea and they took Jerome Robinson and they let MPJ slip. And MPJ slipped to the 14th pick. His injury history is concerning. MPJ missed his lone season at Missouri because of back surgery. His rookie season in the NBA, he had back surgery. Now he has another back surgery. He's had 3 back surgeries in the last 4 years. Right now, Denver, with this current team, Jamal Murray going out with an ACL, MPJ, his back injuries, this is giving me flashbacks of Portland in early 2010 with Brandon Roy, his knee problems, with Greg Oden, his knee problems. We were looking at Portland as a potential dynasty. Not, I wouldn't say dynasty, but
powerhouse.
We were looking at Portland as a powerhouse with Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Greg Oden. Last year, I think most people had Denver as the best young core in the league with Jokic, MPJ, and Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray can come back from his ACL. An ACL isn't what it once was. But MPJ's back injury, having 3 surgeries in the last 4 years, that is serious. And the Nuggets just remind me of a team that we might be looking back years from now and saying, man, if they all stayed healthy, they could have been special. They could have been a powerhouse. But injuries just ruined what could have been a great run.
It's, you know what's crazy about that? You think about it. If that powerhouse Portland, if Brandon Roy and Greg Oden stay healthy, they probably never get Dame.
They don't.
Which means it's possible Dame goes somewhere else, blossoms, but then that could be a blessing in disguise.
But that was the Nets pick.
That's
Dame
crazy.
would have went to us, yeah. We traded Gerald Wallace for him.
Gerald Wallace had that 1 year, bro.
We really traded Gerald Wallace for Dame, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Denver, they're in a tough spot, but I think, his back injury.
That's concerning, man.
You talked about the play where he smoked the layup. He came up limping after that.
Yeah, I know.
After that play. And that was versus the Rockets. You're right. This season he's averaging 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists.
Stinky.
Yeah, he's been horrible this year.
I think it possibly could have been because of the injury.
Yeah, I think so too. I got a question for you guys though. MPJ's out for the year for Denver. Jamal Murray can return from his ACL injury,
I don't think he should.
but it's smarter for Denver to sit him out.
Yeah.
Should the Nuggets just sit out Jokic too and tank the season? They own their first round pick. What if they can land a Holmgren or a Boncaro or a Jabari Smith in the draft? I don't think it's a bad idea.
I don't think Jokic should sit.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of sitting my star player. I wouldn't do it.
You don't think Denver should tank the season? Like you said,
They should tank the season, but they won't tank the season.
Denver's a small market team. They're not going to get big time free agents.
But
in the draft, is there chance to get a big time guy?
There's also a chance to bust that new lottery. It's a chance they don't get in that top 5.
Yeah, but it's a chance that they do. And I think you know more about the draft prospects than me. I don't know who's in the top 10. I only know like the main guys. But what if they can get, next year having a fully healthy MPJ with Jamal Murray, with Jokic, with Aaron Gordon, with a Jabari Smith or Boncaro? Like, imagine how we're looking at Denver. We're looking at Denver like, wow, this can be a potential
team.
Back-to-back championship team. This could be a dynasty. I don't know. I think I would probably try and tank the season.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, they're 11-12 right now. They're not really going to be doing much this season.
But even if Denver's a playing team, though, even if Denver's a playing team and they have some odds to get a high lottery pick, like let's say 14th, best odds to get a lottery pick. Based on Denver's draft history, I trust them to draft well within that lottery.
Yeah.
They'll be fine, regardless of where they get, where they get a pick out. I think they'll be fine.
I don't think Denver should blatantly tank, but I think that they shouldn't play Jokic on back-to-backs. They should rest him a lot. And if you're a playing team at the end of the season, that's not the worst thing ever, because now you're going to draft a highly touted prospect with a lot of potential, and now you bring that guy into this core of Jokic, MPJ, Murray, Aaron Gordon as well. Will Barton probably most likely going to stay with Monte Morris. I mean, we're looking at a real dangerous team here.
I think you could let Will Barton walk.
I think Will Barton's been really good this year.
I do, but I think if you get a lottery pick, right, and say, for example, you draft like a Jaden Ivey or something, or Jabari Smith. You can let Will Barton walk. Bones has clearly shown that he can be that guy off the bench. So
but that's more Monte Morris' role.
What you mean?
Like I think Nashawn, if he would take on a bigger role, it would affect Monte Morris' minutes.
No, because
if they're fully healthy.
No, think about it. Because think about it. You just if they get Jabari Smith, Will Barton isn't starting anymore.
I know, but Will Barton's not a starter if they're fully healthy.
Yeah, but if you let Will Barton walk, you let Bones walk into that just scoring mentality role. You let Morris be the point guard off the bench. Bones just be that 6-man Jamal Crawford type of player off the bench.
That's a very small guard lineup.
It is, but who cares at this point?
So who are the top 10 prospects in college right now?
Paola, however you say his name.
Carroll.
You got Chet. You got Jaden Ivey. You got Jabari Smith Jr. You got Jaden Harvey from the G League. You got
imagine if the Nuggets can get Jaden Hardy. That's his name, right? Jaden Hardy?
Yeah. You got Scoot Henderson out the G League.
Bro, Jaden Hardy fills that 2-guard role for the Nuggets as well. If they can luck into Jaden Hardy, wow.
You got Jalen Duren. You got Dyson Daniels from overseas. He might get into the draft. It's a few good guys. Kennedy Chandler, he's good.
Point guard.
Mm-hmm. So it's a few good guys. Denver can go in multiple opportunities. I mean, I would like to I'd like for them to get another wing probably.
So if you're Denver, are you trying to make the playoffs?
I'm just gonna try to be as competitive as I can.
Yeah,
because you still have Jokic. He's gonna do what he do every night. I would just try to be as competitive as I can. If we don't make the playoffs, I won't be mad though.
It just makes sense for Denver. For example, the Clippers. It doesn't make sense. Clippers don't have any first-round picks.
Yeah,
tanking the season makes no sense for them. They're just gonna give OKC a higher pick.
Yeah,
but for Denver, it makes a lot of sense.
I would probably play your route. Don't have Jokic on back-to-back nights. Sit him a couple times on long stretches. Stuff like that. Not like blatantly tanking, but just rest him as much as possible.